everyone, it's Alice, and I'm here for a bit of a rant today. I'd like to preface this video by saying that there are way more important things going on in the world right now, and I'm getting very stressed and overwhelmed by it all. I think quite understandably, a lot of people probably are. The rising gas prices, the war with Ukraine, everything that's going on at the moment is pretty stressful and it's pretty concerning for everybody. So this is not important. If you like this video, then please consider making a donation or some kind of contribution to the Disasters Emergency Committee, because they are doing a lot of work to help the people in Ukraine, and I think that that is a far more important thing to be talking about right now. And I will get on with it. So, I'm in a bad mood at the moment. I've had some shit going on at work. I've had some tough times in my personal life. Obviously, the world is a state. And because of that, things are getting on my tits. And as you can tell by the title of this video, this is a rant about entitled bookworms, entitled bookish collectors, and it's mostly in defence of FairyLoot. I'm not somebody who has intense loyalty towards companies. I can see problems with companies. I'm very happy to criticise them. If they make stances that I don't enjoy, then I will call them out on it. I will not just blindly love a company regardlessly, because I don't think that's a healthy viewpoint to have. I don't think that it's a good ethic to have. It's good to be able to hold companies accountable and to be able to see the pros and cons of them. But it seems like basically everyone in the bookish community is just really being a dickhead towards FairyLoot, and I have no idea why. So I'm going to do like a bit of a deep dive and just discuss some of the things that just completely baffle me, because it doesn't seem to be happening to any other bookish company. Like, yes, there have been things with Fabled merch in the past, but that was kind of understandable. I did a whole video on Fabled merch last year. I'll link that so you can have a look at that. That was kind of understandable because they weren't sending things out for like a year. But FairyLoot, it's as simple as, I forgot to set my alarm, so I missed your pre-sale, and now I'm really pissed off at you, FairyLoot. You specifically, even though I'm the one that forgot to set my alarm. And it's just the entitlement that's there, because, like, if you can't have any semblance of, like, personal responsibility, that is not a company's fault. Like, what the fuck? I'm mostly thinking of two sales in particular, if I'm honest. So we'll discuss these first, then I'll dive into some of the other stuff that I've seen, because I've been thinking of doing this video for a while, because it's been getting on my nerves, and it's just getting more and more irritating, and basically anytime I see anybody to discuss FairyLoot, I just want to punch them in their mouth, and it's just dicking me off. Right, these Hollow Vows. This was the first book that things seem to kick off like properly recently. So FairyLoot announced that they were doing the sequel to this, which is these Twisted Bonds, I think it's called, with the stenciled edges to match the first one. They had been on sale on the pre-sale for a couple of hours. FairyLoot said, look, we're really sorry, we actually can't increase the amount that we're getting for the publisher because of like capacity problems at the printers. So all the rest of them are going to just be like solid sprayed edges. And people kicked off, like, oh, I want to have one that matches my first one. Oh, that's not fair, I didn't get one that matched my first one. Oh, well, I don't want just solid sprayed edges. There was somebody I saw that said, like, I'm not even surprised that FairyLoot messed this up. But, like, FairyLoot didn't mess it up. They didn't know, admittedly, they didn't know that there was, like, a capacity issue. But the printer is the one that has put that capacity issue in place and has not communicated it to FairyLoot. The publisher probably didn't communicate it to FairyLoot either. And what did FairyLoot do? They didn't say, Habu, sucks to be you, you missed out on the stenciled edge, so, like, fuck you all. No. They were like, hey, we're going to do a solid sprayed edge for you. We're still going to do this special edition. We're going to work with the publisher to make another exclusive copy for you, just so that, like, less people miss out, because we feel really bad that this happened. That is going above and beyond for customer satisfaction. They didn't need to do that. They could have just said, like, look, the stenciled one's sold out. Sorry, it's not going on to general sale. Sols. But, like, we're not doing it anymore. It's okay. Whatever. But they didn't. The thing that I find funniest with this one is that I was at the pub with my friend when these Twisted Bonds went on sale. And I was like, I'll just do it when I get home. And an hour later, I walk home and I go on FairyLoot's website and I type in my password and I buy a copy and it all goes through fine. So if people had actually been organised and had known when the sale was and had known that they wanted to buy it, they could have easily got it, because there was an hour there in which it could have sold out, and it didn't, and they could have just been more organised. Shouldn't have been a problem, right? But then people were holding FairyLoot accountable, like, oh, I forgot to set my alarm, I didn't have time because I assumed there'd be more copies. These are limited edition books that have like a high resale value. Apparently stenciled edges have to be done like manually at the printers. They have to be done like basically by hand. So that's a lot more work going into something. If you really want it, you should know, and you shouldn't be bitching that you forgot to set your alarm, because you should just be able to do that. A similar thing happened to, I think it's called The Dragon's Promise, which is the sequel to Six Crimson Cranes. So this one has like purple at the top and the bottom, and then it has cranes on the side. And The Dragon's Promise has dragons on the side. So again, they had stenciled editions, and they said beforehand this time, they said, look, these are like super limited because it happened before with these twisted bonds. Like, these are super duper duper limited stenciled edges. We can't just do all of the stenciled edges that we normally would. So we're going to put it on sale, and then once the stenciled edges have sold out, then we'll put solid sprayed edges up. And people were kicking off because they were like, why don't people who subscribed to the Six Crimson Cranes box get early access to the pre-sale? So what did FairyLoot do? They brought the pre-sale forward by an hour. So they were like, yeah, okay, well, in that case, at 1 o'clock, all the people who bought the box that Six Crimson Cranes came in, you'll get your pre-sale. And then at 2 o'clock, everybody else will get the pre-sale. The stenciled edges were still available when it went up to the rest of subscribers, and people were still bitching. I got Six Crimson Cranes and I didn't manage to get a matching special edition of the second one. Well, why the fuck not? You had over an hour to get it. I was at work, and I had to time my lunch break, and I had to log straight on, and I was checked out within 1 minute. These are hyped releases. These are very anticipated special editions, as I said before, with high resale values. So collectors are going to be buying these, whether they want to read them or whether they just want to collect them and sell them on, whether they want them for the high trade value in the future, especially because FairyLoot made it known and apparent before they went on sale that they were extremely limited, more limited than normal, and people were still like, oh my god, I forgot to set my alarm, I hate you, FairyLoot. Fuck off. Just fuck off. Learn how to set a fucking alarm. Learn how to actually jot down when a sale is if you really want the book. If you don't really want the book, stop bitching. Come on, get your head out of your ass. There's way more important things to be worrying about right now. And it just sticks me off because I missed the pre-sale for the Atlas 6 by Illumicrate. I was at work. It was at 4 o'clock. I forgot. I went on and checked at 6 o'clock and was like, oh shit, that went on sale and it's already sold out. Did I send Illumicrate hate on Facebook or Twitter? No. Did I bitch in one of the bookish Facebook groups? No. I was just like, wow, oh, that sucks. I missed that. Oh, it's a shame. I should have remembered to set an alarm. That's how people should react, because it is your fault if you're not setting an alarm and remembering what time these pre-sales are, because the book boxes don't owe you. Oh yeah, no, we'll put the pre-sale up for subscribers for, okay, 10 hours. Will that give them enough time to actually remember to check their emails? And then somebody will be like, oh, I was ill and I was sleeping all day yesterday, so I missed it. Okay, so we'll do pre-sale for 2 days? No, they are companies. They have to get these sales done. They can't just drag it out for you just because you've got no personal responsibility on how to set an alarm. I don't understand how these people aren't late to school all the time or late to work all the time, because if you can't set an alarm for something you're really, really excited about, what? Another quick complaint that's also been bugging me. I've seen people describe these stenciled sprayed edges as plain. What? Also, FairyLoot like purple. People always complain about the purple. Oh my god, they made it purple again. I hate the fact that it's purple. It's not like they've been doing this since they were fucking started. It's not like they've quite clearly liked purple the whole time. It's not like they never used purple before and then all of a sudden we're 25 special editions in a row, all purple. No. The overwhelming colour of FairyLoot special editions from the beginning has been purple. Purple. So when people are not purple again, what the fuck's wrong with you? What have you got against purple? Come on, it's a fucking Beautiful colour. These look beautiful. You can't just be like, oh, they ruined it. They made it purple. And then people are complaining that they made the solid sprayed edge of the Dragon's Promise a darker shade of purple than this one. Because when you line up all of the FairyLoot Elizabeth Lynn books in a row, the sprayed edges get slightly darker each time. It goes from like a really pale pink to like a brighter pink to like this purple to like a dark purple. That makes sense. And people are like, oh, it doesn't work with the cover. It doesn't work with the vibe of the story. It should have been like a pale teal. But then it wouldn't work with the... Oh, try and calm down. Try and calm down, because I am not even done yet. I shouldn't have filmed this video. Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's move on to talk about some of FairyLoot's special edition sets, because this is also something that has been a remarkable bugbear for me. So, around January, February time last year, FairyLoot announced that they were doing a special edition set for the Graceling books. Red, green, blue, and like purpley silver. Cool. Black with those colours. Quite traditional YA covers, quite reminiscent of like the like late 2000s covers where like most books were just black with like that central image or that central like motif. And I thought they were beautiful. A lot of people thought they were beautiful. And then a few months later, FairyLoot announced that they're doing the Winter Night trilogy by Catherine Arden. And again, I think these books are stunning. I think they're beautiful. They are the only covers of these books that I don't feel horrified by, because I'm not a huge fan of any of the other covers that have existed. And people are bitching. Why are they red, blue and green? Why are they using the same colours? Why are they black with like a picture again? Quite clearly, because they're extremely different to the original covers. They are very, very different to any of the cover styles that I've seen for Winter Night. And again, probably because it's reminiscent of that like older style of cover, which was very popular at its time. It's still fairly popular. But people just, oh no, I've been waiting for this set for months and I'm not gonna like get it anymore because I don't like the fact that it's red, blue and green. Okay, well, a Kotar was red, blue and green. Did it stop you from buying those? Because Sarah J Maas's coffers say differently. And, oh god, that was, like, annoying. I am also in my pyjamas. I just thought we should address that. I needed to be cozy for this video because, like, ugh, my entire soul is, like, leaching out of my body as I'm having this discussion. But yes, so that was annoying. Then there was the whole debacle with the Diviners, which I'm just going to look it up because I can't quite remember, like, exactly what happened with the Diviners books, but it was like they were meant to be like green, red, blue and green, and then everybody complained so much that they changed one of the colours of the cover, and then people just continued to complain, which was just like wild.
3 hours later.
There was also the whole debacle with the fact that one of their Jennifer L. Armentrout books, like, somebody had an extra finger. And I just find it so funny that people were absolutely shredding FairyLoot apart for not noticing that this person had an extra finger on this illustration. But it's like, an artist made those. Maybe stop being a dickhead, because, like, somebody's worked really hard on those. Like, you can just say, like, oh, sorry, like, there's an extra finger on that person. You don't need to be so vitriolic and so hateful about it. That's the thing that annoys me the most. Is like none of the hatred is necessary. You could just like calmly and coolly like criticize them as a company. You don't need to rip them to shreds. Oh, here it is. Right, okay. So they start off announcing the Diviners set on September the 10th. And they've got black sprayed edges, like completely black. The covers are green, red, blue, and like a darker green. And they've all got this 1920s style foiling on them. Yeah, I am begging you to please change the first book to purple. Having 2 greens is not it. But everybody hates purple, don't they? I'm so sad that the first book isn't purple. I just need the first book to be purple, please. The 2 greens clash so bad. I was hoping for art on the reverse of the dust jacket. Can't be happy with the fact that it's like the first set of Diviners books that are completely matching. The more I look at them, the more I'm unsure and impressed. I'm guessing unimpressed. Why are there 2 green ones? The first one should be purple. Why is there no stenciled edges or reverse dust jacket art like there was for every other 4-book series collection? Seems rushed to me. Do they not realise that they, like, collaborate with the publishers on these? If the publishers didn't think that it worked for the book, then FairyLoot aren't going to be able to do it. A bit surprised you all did black, especially since it often looks patchy. Gilded gold would have been nice. Yeah, it probably would have been, but then everybody would have been complaining that there was too much gold. The embossed designs are so small. Can you make them bigger? And also add, like, an Art Deco border on the hardback? This is why we can't have nice things. Begging for stenciled edges. Are you though? Are you? So then it's like a couple weeks later when they announced that they're doing it purple. There you go. So that was September 30th. This is September the 30th. It took them 20 days to be like, hey, we heard your feedback. All of these comments I'm reading out are on Instagram, by the way. So most of the things I was referencing earlier are things that I have seen in a certain Facebook group that has, like, a privacy warning in their terms and conditions, so you can't, like, screenshot anything or post outside of the group. So I won't be explicitly quoting or stating any of those. So this is all stuff that you can quite clearly see on the internet, just so you know. But yeah, so then they changed the Diviners set. Oh, I mean, I kind of have to read out this comment because I was thinking, like, a lot of people don't hold Illumicrate accountable. Like, if anything goes wrong with Illumicrate, they just kind of seem like they're fine with it. And the stuff that FairyLoot gets held accountable for is, like, sometimes really ridiculous compared to the stuff that people, like, don't call Illumicrate out for. But this comment here, I don't remember the old covers, but these are also gorgeous. I truly love that FairyLoot listens to our feedback and makes changes we love. The yellow box with the eyes emoji doesn't care much for our opinions, and their customer service is very poor. Ooh, ouch. I like that. But yeah, everybody's like, oh, these are so beautiful. These are so beautiful. But let's be honest, like, they were beautiful anyway. They were so beautiful anyway. And the fact that people wanted the purple one, and then as soon as they get purple books, they're like, no purple! We hate purple! Then there was, if I can find them, the Cassandra Clare set had some very interesting feedback as well. The Dark Artificers Deluxe set. Bear in mind this is Cassandra Clare. She already has special editions of these books. The Waterstones Rune editions exist. Pretty sure there have been, like, special edition paperbacks and stuff as well. So they do these books and they're teal, purple and pink, and people, like, hate this. Let me see if I can find the original announcement, because that's, like, the on sale announcement. Here we are. These are quite disappointing. Zero work put into the design. I was expecting a design more on the same level as your Chain of Gold and Chain of Iron editions. Plus, at this price, it should have come with some extra items like the Illumicrate, the Infernal Devices set. What will the spines of the naked hardcovers look like? Like, the fact that you're giving us solid sprayed at the top and stencil on the side and all the foiling underneath, it matters nothing because I don't know what the spine looks like. This is, like, the smallest thing ever. Her name being big isn't a big deal to me, as her name is big on Chain of Gold and Chain of Iron. I just wish it was styled the same. As in, the name of the book, then the series name, and then Cassandra Clare. So they looked the same. That is my only big issue. It would be cool if you added some sort of design along the side on the front, like how Chain of Gold and Chain of Iron have a star and then the line down on the sides in the front. But even without that, they are still beautiful and I absolutely can't wait. I just really hope her name could be moved underneath the names of the books, like Chain of Gold and Chain of Iron, so they look similar next to each other. I hope you think about it at least. Placement of a name. Wow. Just like, oh my god. Okay, so that was, like, ridiculous as well. And also, on the actual, like, original, I don't agree with the colour theme selected. I find it too bright for this series. I think a standard cover with stenciled edges would have been more to my personal taste, but I know others will enjoy them. That is a nice and considered comment. That is a good comment. Like, that's nice. Ugh. There are some decent people out there. We're going to finish this today with a little discussion of the recently released Arc of the Scythe special edition set, because that was what really got my goat, and that was what basically started me off. So we're going to discuss these, because Phantom Rim did some reverse dust jacket character art for the Ark of the Scythe exclusive set. And as I've said, these people are artists and they are people. And you don't have to be absolutely horrible about them. I've seen people say that there are too many pigeons. Too many pigeons. There are too many pigeons. And Rowan looks like he's dead. And it's like, really? There's nobody commenting about too many pigeons on Instagram. Maybe Instagram people are just nicer than people in their Facebook groups. Because, like, too many pigeons. What an argument. Not the greatest fan of Rowan's and Tolliver's faces, but they'll do. Maybe I set my bar too high after earlier special editions and Phantom Rim's scythe artwork on her Instagram. I love the embossing, but the last two dust jackets are not good. Like, Nightmare's not good. Okay, but what happened to Rowan? Good God. I agree that the purple one looks incredible, because it is. I absolutely love the pigeons. I am a huge fan of all of the fucking pigeons. Like, the pigeons are, like, the most appealing thing to me. I think it looks awesome. I'm really not a fan of this. There's so much better art done by this artist. I'm so conflicted because I love this series so much and wanted these books, but I'm not a fan of these covers. I love the artist's other work more than these covers, and I wish the foil on the back of each book was a different yet cohesive design rather than all being the same. I love the fact that it's all the same because it's the commandments of being a scythe, and that's, like, the thing that they follow, like, all the way through, and I think that's so cool. But, like, people were complaining about the fact that they hadn't changed the covers enough. And then they do, like, under the dust jacket covers that can actually be used as covers. And people are still complaining. It just absolutely does my head in. It does my head in. There was also the whole, like, hoo-ha with the Way of Kings set, which I'd forgotten about. But because they're basically, like, the same. Fairy do have gilded edges and the other stores don't have gilded edges, but people are like, I'm not spending an extra £10 on gilded edges. You do realise gilded edges are, like, sprayed 3 times to make sure that they're actually gilded. So, like, there's a lot more work goes into that. I would pay more for that. I'm happy to pay more for that. Also, oh my god, let's just have a quick conversation. Oh yeah, no, we're not finishing actually, because I want to have a quick conversation about the adult book only subscription. Because the fact that the first book's been delayed at the printer because they made a mistake with the dust jacket, so they have to manually re-dust jacket all of the books, which is a shit ton of work. I'm happy with that being the reason that it's late. I don't care. But people are complaining like, oh no, like, books set in schools are not adult. Okay, but Naomi Novik's Scholomance series, that's set in a school, and that was in a Luma crate, and it was called adult, and it's sold in the adult section of Waterstones. No complaints there. But because it's the Atlas 6, it's suddenly different. Because, like, it's branded with the whole fact that it was a TikTok book. Oh, yeah, no, it can't be adult, even if it's being published as adult. Fine. And people saying, like, oh, FairyLoot are, like, hiding behind the fact that the publishers are saying that it's adult. So they're just picking books that are YA. If it's being published as adult, that means that it's not being picked up by YA publishers. It means that it's not able to find a market there. And it might mean, depending on what FairyLoot's kind of contracts and things are with these publishers, they might not be able to publish certain books because they're on different labels. It's not labels, imprints, I think it's called. But say, for example, FairyLoot wanted to publish the Atlas 6 in their YA box. Because it was on a different imprint and it was like an adult imprint, they might not be allowed to, depending on what their contracts are. So this might be the only way for them to do books that are slightly older than YA, that they really, really love. And at the end of the day, we haven't received any of the adult books yet. We haven't read any of the adult books yet. Most people haven't, obviously some early reviewers have. But I think the fact that people are just jumping to conclusions and shredding FairyLoot apart and saying, like, no, they are just hiding behind the fact that they're still picking YA books, but they're just pretending they're adult. Not everything is going to be intensely high fantasy, because there aren't that many intensely high fantasy books released every single month, especially ones that are either first ones in a series or like standalones. A lot of them are series that are already ongoing, so FairyLoot wouldn't be able to jump in and do about 4 or 5 in a series, would they? That would be ridiculous. So it's going to take them a bit of time to get the adult book only subscription going, and people have got to be patient with that. You can't just expect it to be perfect as soon as it's released. And so this has been a bookish rant about bookworms being entitled and in defence of FairyLoot, because there are other things that I could talk about, but these are the ones that are dicking me off the most at the moment. So I'll probably do a part 2 video at some point where I rant about other entitled bookish things, because Jesus Christ, for bookish people, the majority of the community just seems so fucking toxic. And it just gets on my tits. Like, I'm here, and yeah, sometimes I do harsh reviews, but I'm trying to promote literature, and I'm trying to talk about, like, all these different books, and I'm trying to get excited about all these different books, and, like, show all the different special editions and stuff. I'm not here to just, like, shit on bookish artists' work, or, like, tear apart bookish boxes. Like, I know obviously Book Box Battle sometimes gets a bit harsh if they put really naff items in there, but that's, like, constructive criticism in a way that I'm not shoving it down their throats. I'm not screaming at them on social media. I'm not blaming them because I forgot to set an alarm. I'm just saying, like, these items aren't the most useful or aren't the best quality, so they could be different choices. And there's a difference there. So what I'm saying is, if you want to criticise book boxes, try to be less of a dick about it. Just try to be less of a dick in general. Just try to think about the fact that at the end of the day, we're all people. We are all in this together. We are all living our lives and trying to do what we can to get through. And there's no point in being vitriolic or hateful. And there's no point in shredding artists apart on social media because you don't like the fact that there are too many pigeons. Some people like pigeons. Pigeons are okay. And if you like this video, please give it a like, and if you'd like to subscribe, we'll be super duper grateful. We post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. Thank you so much for watching and for bearing with me while I get a little bit exhausted and a little bit emotional and a little bit fed up with the state of the world and the state of humanity at the moment, and the fact that I don't really feel like there's much that I can do. But if I can bring you some entertainment, that is what matters. At the end of the day, that is what I'm here for. I am here to talk about books and to talk about bookish things and to put a smile on your face. So if this did that, then please just let me know down in the comments. Let me know if there's anything else that you'd like me to discuss in the future. If there are any other boxes that you think I should do, like a little video like this about. Because, I mean, I could probably get them together for Our Crate and Anuma Crate as well, let's be honest. But yeah, and without any more delay, I'm going to go and I have a bit of a cry. See you in a couple of days with another video. Bye. Okay. Ready to continue.